first and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, praises, and thanks to the creator of the universe and to all of those near and far, struggling and doing everything they can to do that which is right. I greet all of you in peace. Good evening. We will say in Hebrew, Shalom. We will say in the tribal language of Ghana, Asumdrio. What I wanted to talk about is few things I want to talk about. Queen Vida. From Ghana, West Africa. My father comes from a place called Salt Pond and Mankasim, and my mother comes from Elmina. This is about 45 minutes from each other. Elmina, as I don't know if some of you have read the history about Elmina, but Elmina is about 25 minutes, really not even quite 15 minutes from Cape Coast. And Cape Coast is where the first slave dungeons was built at. Then Elmina was next. So my people come from that side of, Ghana. And also Ghana is in west coast of Africa. Ghana received its independence in 1957. 1957, during the Nkrumah regime, Ghana received its independence. And the blessing of everything is that my father, may his soul rest in peace, he's one of those that literally fought during Nkrumah's regime, fought to literally bring about independence for the country of Ghana. So one of my sisters was born on the Independence Day, and I was born on the Republic Day of Ghana. So I don't take that lightly. I'm very grateful, I'm very appreciative that the Creator, put him on this earth to have done what he's done. And my mother, I'm not going to leave her out because behind every great man is a great woman. But my mother was there on his side every step of the way. With 12 children, my father was in and out of Ghana. He fought, he was also in the Second World War and all of that. That man really went through a lot, but I'm very grateful that he brought forth to me, both of them brought forth to me to be able to be on this earth to serve my God and my people. At the age of 17, I, always when I was reading the Bible, I always used to, ask myself, where are the children of the Bible? The Bible always talked about, where are the children of Israel? Because I always, thought that Israel was in the skies. That's what, growing up, that's what we were always taught, So it wasn't until 1977, I go to a boarding school. So when I was on a break from the school, a friend told me, he said, there are some brothers and sisters here from Israel talking about the Bible. So you really may want to go and see that. I said, what? From Israel? Wow. So Israel is really on earth, So I was going to go, but then it slipped my mind, and I went back to school because I'm in a boarding school. I was gone for like a month and over. So when I came back, I said, well, let me go and sit in their class. They always have classes on the Sabbath. So I said, let me go and sit down and, listen to what these people are talking about. So when I got there, they were talking about Galatians chapter 5 verse 16, things of the spirit and things of the flesh. So I listened to them and everything. I said, wow, okay. Then they started talking about our body and the type of foods that we need to put in our bodies. So I said, wow, that may need to really check these people out. So I said, I'm going to be a part of what these people are doing because I'm liking everything I'm seeing. I'm liking everything I'm hearing. So I went right home and told my mother and father, I'm not going to eat any fish and any meat anymore. They looked at me like I was crazy. Since that time, it's been 37 years now. I have not touched any animal flesh, no meat byproducts since that time. From there, I was blessed to journey up to Jerusalem. In the book of Micah chapter 4, it states that it shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established as the highest of the mountains. It said it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow to it. And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, and we may walk in his path. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. This is the light of Jerusalem. We have to understand that, as the Bible says, it says heaven and earth shall pass away, but not a dot of what the Creator have said shall go unfulfilled. I used to think that Israel was in the sky. Israel is in northeastern Africa. It's not in Asia. Between the year 1859 and 1869, the Suez Canal was built. And the purpose of the Suez Canal was to separate Israel from being in Africa, which was one of the great international religious conspiracy against our people. So that way gave them the chance to come to the continent with a picture of white, whatever, to deceive our people. Deception at the highest level. I want to touch a little bit on that. So for me to have journeyed up to Jerusalem and lived there for 25 years, walked the same places, the Holy Land. I spent a lot of time in Jerusalem. I used to run a vegan restaurant in Tel Aviv. Yes, I speak fluent Hebrew. Prophecies have to be fulfilled, whether you want to believe it or not. If you go to Ezekiel, I believe it's Ezekiel chapter. No, we're going to Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 22nd verse. It says that, but I scattered them with a whirlwind among, no, I'm sorry, Zechariah chapter 7, verse 14. It said, but I scattered them with a whirlwind among all nations. Thus the land they left was desolate, because after the children of Israel came from Egypt, they were disobedient to the Creator. So he said, I will send you in ships to a faraway country where you know not. There ye shall be sold for male and female slaves. Did that happen? The Bible is written a little bit here and a little bit there. And the mysteries of the Bible was to be revealed in their seasons. As I speak today, we have over 5,000 brothers and sisters living in Israel today. Black brothers and sisters. 85 to 90% of them came from here. Who sent them there? The hand of the Most High. Ordinary man couldn't have done that. We have babies born in that land that have never tasted the wickedness and none of this foolishness in the world. Never. That are living in Israel right now. Stevie Wonder was there in Israel. Whitney Houston was there. Miriam Makeba was there. Nelson Mandela's wife, what's her name? Winnie Mandela was there. We've had people who have come all over the world to come and to see for themselves. Prophecies are being fulfilled each day. So I'm grateful and appreciative to the brothers and sisters residing in Israel that came to Ghana and was able to guide me back to what? My land, my language, and my culture. Because a people without the knowledge of their land and their language is like a tree without no roots. I'm grateful. And most of all, they taught me how to eat, to be a vegan. But let me share something with you. You can be a vegan, right? And still be big. And still be unhealthy. I was a vegan 37 years ago. But guess what? It got to a point where I gained a lot of weight. So I decided to go on this 70-day fast. First of all, it took me years to gain the weight, so I shouldn't have thought that I was just going to lose it just like that. I went on this 70-day fast, and what I did that was wrong is that, first of all, it was too many days, okay? And I did lose a lot of weight, but I ended up in the hospital. Because as I was on this fast, I was not detoxifying my body, taking all the different herbs and the colonics and the animals and all of that to remove those toxins. So it was backed up and I got sick. Yeah, I lost weight. I was nice and slim and everything, but inside I was not well. So I was educated and everything, and I went on, and after I got out of the, the hospital and everything, I was on track. But again, I started back to eating, but I had to be mindful to take everything little by little. So what happened? As time went on, I'm the kind of person that if I prepare food and it's not, I don't see the oil floating on top of it, and a lot of us Ghanaians, a lot of African countries, we do that, which is a very bad habit. So in doing so, I make sure when I prepare my food, I have a lot of oil in it because I love to see that oil floating on top of it. But that was literally killing me. I gained a lot of weight. I weighed 214 pounds. All the way until last, I would say about 19 months ago. Besides all of that, I had lost literally 9 members of the family. My mother had 12. It's 5 of us living. I was going through depression, knowing that you lose a sister. She have an engagement in May. She have a wedding in June. She have a baby in November. She died in December. Baby's 20 days old, baby. How do you process that? So from that, lost my other brother who was given the wrong injection at the hospital. He passes away, leaves 2 children, 3 years and 4 years. Then after that, I lose my father. Then after my father, prior to that, I've already lost 2 other brothers before I even was born. Then after that, I lose my father, then from father to mother. So I buried my mother in April, only to find out that my sister passed away also after that in August in London, and the husband didn't tell any of us. I have over 30-something relatives in London. None of us knew anything about it. She had paid her mortgage, everything was paid off. She had bought a brand new Mercedes-Benz. This man took every picture of my sister and put it in a box. She passed away in August, we didn't know nothing about it. So how do you process all of this? Then shortly after that, we buried my sister and my uncle passed away. Then after that, I come back to the States. My baby brother, whom I love so much, he's number 12. He passes away, leaves behind 4 children that we are responsible for now. The baby was only 2.5 years. This is just a little bit over 2 years ago. Then it wasn't even 2 years, a little bit over a year after he had passed, my brother, the firstborn, passes away because of whatever medicine they gave to him in the hospital for diabetes. So it has been a journey. But you know what? I'm grateful I have all of you. It's not easy, but I'm okay. Because you know what? The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but to he who endureth to the end. Each and every one of us will be tested. But whatever our test may be, we must be able to be strong and be able to pass the test. So with all of what I was going through, it caused me to gain weight. I would eat late at night because, I'm the kind of person I love to cook and everything. And when I'm depressed, whatnot, I eat. So I would eat late at night and I would lay down. So I gained a lot of weight. I went to Ghana to check on my brother's children. We were so close that I didn't want to go to the funeral. I didn't know how I was going to take it. While I was there, I got malaria. So the sister, the hospital I was taken to, I grew up with a sister. She prescribed some medication, but she made a mistake. So when I took the medication, I started having, depression, palpitation, all of that. So when I went back to her, she said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that's what I gave you." So what I'm saying is, it's always very important that we do everything we can, make sure our immune system is built up, so that we don't have to even end up going into these hospitals, because you never know what is going to happen when you go to these hospitals. Some people go to hospitals, they be okay, but then when they come, some don't even get a chance to come back. Some people lose their lives. So do everything you can to stay away from there as much as possible. So the sister, after that, I was given this, I was having problems with blood pressure and everything. So I was given this medication right here. When I would take it, my heart would race. When I would take it, it would give me a lot of side effects. It wasn't easy. So it got to a point where one day, the sister that's on that cookbook, Sister Yafa, my spiritual sister, she says, why don't you try going on oilless diet? That was God talking to me through her. She told me about it, but she never told me how to do it. See, I would be in the room laying down, and the Spirit of the Most High would come upon me and it would say, go in the kitchen, put this together, do it this way, do it that way, and you're going to come up with this. So I would be obedient to that voice. And I started going and doing everything that the Spirit was telling me to do. So from eating oilless, the person might ask, how do you do it? It's so easy. I'll give you some recipes. I was going to do a little demonstration, but unfortunately I fell down this morning, and kind of hit my feet, so I was going to do a little waka waka dance, but all of that another time. I'm also a dancer, an African dance instructor, My father, actually, I got that from my father. He won the first independence dance when Ghana got its independence with Queen Elizabeth at that time, So I took the dancing part from him. So I went on this oilless diet. No oil. How did I prepare my foods? I would take my sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, whatever. I make oilless cookies, oilless cakes. When you taste it, it's nice and fluffy. You will not believe that there is no margarine or there's not even no oil in it. Why do I have to use oil when I can actually get the oil from what? The seeds. So I was getting my oil and everything from the seeds. When I made my cakes, I will blend up I have set recipes. I will blend up the, 2 cups of sunflower seeds, put it in the blender, blend it real fine, Then I would basically put my little vanilla flavor, not a whole lot, to your taste. Blend that up. If you want a little chocolate, powder, cocoa powder, you blend all of it up together, a little sea salt or Himalayan salt. Then you take your bowl, you measure everything, 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of, I'm talking about gluten-free flour, You take that, you use the little, whatever you would put in your cakes when you're doing your cakes. And I put all of this together. I'm not no sweet person anyway, because growing up in Ghana, our parents never really, promoted all those sweets like that. They did not. But our people ate a lot of starch. We ate a lot, which naturally turns into sugar. So I would do all of this. I make cheese potatoes. How do I make my cheese? I use my almond milk. I put a little nutritional yeast, a little agave, Brex, aminos, a little sea salt, blend everything up, boil my potatoes, slice it and everything, put my seasonings in the blender, the fresh garlic, a little parsley, little, paprika, all I blend everything together. Then I slice my potatoes, mix everything in really good, and bake it. So I was able to come up with all kind of dishes. When I make my lasagna, I make oilless lasagna. it's still a way to make everything that, I was making at the house. So I looked up and customers were coming because they were seeing the progress I was making. They said, we want to go on that journey too. So I started preparing oil as food for them. Then prior to all of that, I was still taking my blood pressure medication at that time. But then when I went on this journey and everything, I stopped. And I started every morning. I brought this here to show you. Every morning, I would take about 5 cloves of garlic. I would chop it really fine. I'll put it right here, put it in my throat, and drink at least a bottle of those small bottles of water. Drink it down. And this is how I have controlled my blood pressure for 19 months now. I've not had to touch any of these poisons. And my blood pressure have been straight. Being on the oilless diet, doing what I have to do, exercising, walking and everything, from 214 pounds, I now weigh 100. I was weighing 140. But after I went on the full body detox, I'll tell you about that too. After I went on the full body detox, I've lost another 17 pounds in weight. So a journey of 1,000 miles only begins with a single step. Let me repeat it. A journey of 1,000 miles only begins with a single step. When you make that step, the Most High is bound by his nature to make two. The word impossible can never be a part of your vocabulary. The word impossible can never be a part of your vocabulary. And in all you do, you must have the faith and believe. What is faith? What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. By faith, things that may seem impossible is possible.